Hello. One, two, three. Ahem. Hello, whoever is watching this video. So, this is, okay. So, right now, hello, welcome. Yeah. Okay, so you have a problem, right? So, today we are gonna solve your problems. What problem do you have? Probably a lot. Maybe your life is fucked. Maybe your life is fucked. So, today we're gonna have a general solution to every single problem that can happen. Okay, so let me start. Uh, okay, this is you. Okay, this is probably not you. This is you. So, now you are not a single person because a lot of people are watching these videos. Who am I kidding? Probably nobody is, but if there is, then well, everyone has different problems. So we need a solution that can be fitted into every single problem in existence. So let's take a scale where from like 1 to 10, where 1, this is the problem scale, where 1 is, let's say you failed your math test. Okay, math is hard. Maybe you failed your language test, or I don't know, history. You fail a test, okay, like a school test, and you are sad. Uh, then there's something something something, then being the worst imaginable problem, maybe everything, your life has fallen apart, you have no friends, you are like, you have self harm to the point where your hand has stopped working, or like I don't know, you lost like a couple of people, maybe somebody died, maybe I don't know, you lost like, maybe you had created a lot of wealth by yourself. Maybe you had a hobby that you really excelled at and now you can't do any of it. Maybe you have lost all your opportunities in life. You wanna die. Okay. So today we're gonna give a solution to the whole spectrum. Okay, let's get started. So let's say this is a scenario. Scenario has a problem. Now this is you. You are experiencing the scenario. Maybe the scenario is one problem, maybe it's multiple problems, maybe it's a really bad life in general. Whatever it is, take it as a, unit 1. Whatever it is, just pack it up and call that box a problem. Now, you are the one experiencing the problem. If the problem is so big, then you can't change the problem. You got to change yourself, because this is a house. Oh boy, it's collapsing. What can you do? Can you save the house? No. You can get out of the house and save yourself. So, now some problems you might say are inescapable. I say no, they're not. You are being dumb. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a formula to break down any problem so you can, well, escape it or solve it, up to you. Here is the escapism formula. Here is the solving formula. We're gonna go into, no, this is the solve one. Okay, this is the solve one. And if you can't solve it, escape it. This is also a really good formula. So now, solving a problem, any problem, there are like always a bunch of steps to it. Step 1, identify the problem. What is the actual problem? Okay, I get it, you're sad. Why? Is it because you are lonely, you don't have a girlfriend, your dog died, I don't know, anything. It could be a bunch of problems all together, you know. First, figure out what the actual problem is. Once you have identified the problem or problems, you will understand that maybe one of them is bigger than the others. So, and you'll also, like, of course, this differs from person to person. You'll also understand that a problem will oftentimes have, uh, like, this is actually, like, if you solve this one, automatically these also get solved. Or maybe these aren't even important. You are sad because of this. But because you are sad, and for some reason your brain did not figure it out yet that this is the only one, this was also making you sad, which it should not. This should not affect you. Now, whatever it is does not matter. What matters is you got a problem. We gonna solve it. How? You know what the problem is. Now divide this problem into three solutions. What is what would you do if you had to solve the problem for someone else? Because in your situation, what you are thinking, let's say you have depression, okay? You have the sads, the blues. Why do you have depression? Because your childhood was bad, you your friend died, you could not finish your education, you could not get into your hobbies, your parents disowned you, and you do not have a bag of chips right now. You are depressed because of this. You might think it's this, which is true, partially, because this is a canon event. You can't change this. It has happened. You are here in the timeline. This is not changeable. You can change your emotions, not about it. That is a sad situation. But you can choose to be not sad. Because it has happened, you cannot change it. What other option is there? Of course, I know emotions are a big thing. I am a huge emotional person myself. But you can somehow change it by, let's say, distracting yourself, or I don't know, jerking off, I don't know, do something, eat good food. Blah, blah. So you are sad because of this problem. You don't have a packet of chips. But what you're thinking is, bro, my life is so shit. Why should I not be depressed? The problem is you don't have a pack of chips. And you are depressed, so you can't go out and get a bag of chips, making you stuck in this loop. And a loop is the only thing that is actually making you depressed. So, what do you need to do? You need to break the loop, of course. What would you do if you were a person who was giving you advice? Now, one thing about depression is you absolutely hate it when somebody gives you reasonable advice because you are depressed. Advice does not work on you. You are depressed, bro. I'm depressed, understand me. So now what we are gonna do is you are gonna become the observer. And you're gonna say, I don't know shit about this person. I just met them. To me, it looks like this person has a house. Bro was about, like, bro just told me, like, let's say you're a visitor and you came to your house and now you're seeing there's this person laying down on their bed with a bunch of I don't know bullshit laying around, and their home is so dirty, and they have, and the smelly, all of that. So now you, as a guest, you have entered this room. What would you do if you just saw this? What would you think? You would not think that maybe this person has had a rough life, maybe you cannot pinpoint their sadness. You don't know if their friend died, their dog died, they failed a grade, or they had a breakup, blah 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 blah. But what you can see is this person is clearly sad. They have a problem. So you ask them, "Hey buddy, what's the problem? What happened? Why are you sad?" And they say, "Well, my life sucks, and I don't even have a pack of chips." What do you, as a outsider, do to cheer them up? You fix their life? No, you get them a pack of chips. So, what I'm trying to say is when you have a minor problem which is reminding you of your major problems, solve it. That's your plan A. Just by doing that, you get a little tiny little bit of dopamine, and then you can have the energy to make a plan that is gonna help you fix the bigger problem. Okay, so now let's say second problem. Like, of course, this is easy peasy. This is just a general diagram of what you should do in any situation. So, this is how you solve every single problem which is making you sad. Now, next option. What do you think will solve your problem? You can think, dude, if I had a girlfriend, it would solve my problem. If I could finish my things, it would solve my problem. If people were nicer to me, it would solve my problem. Now, one thing to note here is you can only control yourself. You cannot control people. So if your criteria is people will, they will be nice to me, they will not. The world is a bitch. But you know that you are expecting kindness from idiots. That makes you an idiot. And you, my dear, are not an idiot. You are an intellectual person. That's why you are sad and depressed in the first place. Only smart people get sad. The rest, ignorance is bliss. So, you as a smart individual cannot expect smartness, aka kindness, from other people. You have to be kind to yourself. Of course, everybody knows that. Blah. What you need to do is to understand you may be sad, but there is always someone who is sad. No, we are not going into that analogy. That analogy is bullshit. I am a person. I have problems, huge ones actually. I am sad. That's a reasonable thing. But now, what you need to understand, if this sadness continues, of course you cannot understand your emotions. You cannot control your emotions. But if you continue to be sad, you are going on a linear path. If you do not give yourself plan B, plan A, plan C, you are always on plan A. How will things ever change? You want change in your life to be happy. You are not allowing change in your life. That's why you are not happy. Simple cause and effect. What you need to do is diverge the path. Now, of course, there is always a chance that you're gonna crash right back and go into plan A. But you were gonna do that regardless if nothing changed, right? So just change the path. Maybe something good will happen. If not, you can just come back to the bullshit. And this strategy goes a long way. Just keep bullshitting. Okay, what's the worst possible thing that you can do? You can die. And if you're gonna die, might as well do everything. Because what's the worst outcome of everything? Death. That's the worst thing that can happen. And if you're not afraid to die, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Just be happy. Now, let me just tell you one thing, which is the final part of this bullshit, is this formula, of course, gets you out of the bed, but you might make some terrible decisions in your life. Now, think from future yourself's perspective. Today you are depressed. What's your path? You're gonna be unemployed and you're gonna eventually get sick and you're gonna die. Now you thought that I'm gonna diverge my path. Of course, I can always come back to this. I'm gonna diverge my path and I'm gonna go to a bar. I'm gonna drink alcohol and I'm gonna have a one night stand or something. Now you did that. Now you are happy because somehow you met somebody at the bar, or I don't know, many things can happen. You are happy now, and let's say something, one thing led to the other, and now you have a good life. But that one thing you did gave you an STD, or you have like some kind of other disease. So now you have a happy life, but you okay. Let me give you a better example, a more realistic example, which you guys will understand more because this is a fairly unlikely situation to happen. Okay, so okay, let's say you thought that I'm gonna become an artist. Of course, I'm gonna die. Might as well, put my feelings onto a canvas and make some money out of it. So you started doing that. Then you, as you were doing that, your life collapsed again, and you're back on this track. Okay. And now at this point, you're like, all right, I have had enough. I'm gonna, you know, commit the deed. And you cut up your own arms in order to die. But you don't die. What actually happens is you survive and you get nerve damage. So now you can't draw even if you want to. Or perhaps you thought that, okay, I'm depressed. Everything is so fucked. What do I do? What do I do? I'm gonna jump off a building. You jump off because, well, it's a tall fucking building and you are sad and you are 100% sure I'm not gonna do anything in my life, and you do it. Boom. And there are people. You are unconscious. They take you to the hospital and the doctors fix you. But of course, this huge damage cannot be fixed. You are just crippled for the rest of your fucking life. And now you don't even have the money to pay the hospital bills. And of course, but you are conscious. You are conscious. You are just sitting there and you are like, why did I ever do that? I may be depressed. Maybe life was fucked. But at least nobody was there to see me. Nobody was there to humiliate me. I I ate I ate instant noodles, but at least it was something. At least I did not have a needle in my hand going 24/7. At least, like, if I wanted to, I could have done something. Maybe I could have like went out, eaten good food. I could have like gone on the footpath and do something. Like, homelessness can be adventurous. You can just pretend, no matter what the situation is. Okay, let me just give you a quick summary. No matter what the situation is, if it's bad, pretend you are a hero, a superhero, a main character in a tragedy movie, and it's your job to find the plot twist that makes that finishes the movie in a good manner. And if you keep thinking about all the tragedies that can happen, then you are directing your cool film into a tragic one, which is, that's gonna get a 0 on Rotten Tomato. So be a cool guy and try to make plot twists if you can't find any. Because if you're just randomly going on the road, and instead of, maybe you went out to get hit by a car, but instead of that, you just go forward, 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 you find a pond, you sit by it for 5 minutes, and you're like, maybe I'll go get an ice cream. And you get that ice cream, and you come back home, and the next day your throat hurts, so you go to the doctor, and in the hospital you meet a hot nurse who somehow happens to be interested in you, which would have not happened if you got hit by the car. Be the Lulu, don't be depressed. Love ya. Bye.